welcome back to the Mateo Lopez Experience, y'all. It's been a little bit, but I've been in Dubai throwing camels at sand dunes so I could terraform the entire planet. So I've also been in the sun recently, like in the fucking sun. And you know what I found? Nothing. Alright, back to the video. I want to tell you guys about, every time I'm trying to make a video, and I'm like thinking about ideas, like, oh, I could do this, I could do that, I could make a stupid video, I don't have to always be like self-improvement stuff. Well, I want to edit this thing in a certain way. Like, I have way more ideas now than ever before, but I always ask myself, well, is it entertaining, is it knowledgeable, but also, what's something that I've recently learned? What is something that I've actually learned that I can actually teach? Like if I'm going up a flight of stairs and I'm on my way to the next stairway, once I've completed that stairway, I'm like, hey, let's go help someone climb up the stairs. Maybe they're struggling. Maybe I can teach them about something. It's like I've crested a part of a mountain, and as I'm looking forward to go crest the next mountain, I can also look back and help people come up this part of the mountain that I've already completed. Anyway, so I want to talk about something that I don't know why I haven't made a fucking video about this yet, but it's something that's very, very it's a big personality fact about me. A lot of people don't be doing this, and it's odd. And it's about just not fucking telling people everything that you're gonna do. People don't need to know. People don't need to know, but first let's talk about my experience. I remember, man, I used to tell people all the fucking time about what I did. But I was just like, that's just something to say, and honestly, people don't care. People don't really care. Maybe it's because I was younger, people were so focused on themselves, but people don't really care about a lot of stuff. Especially people who aren't really your friends, and chances are you might have some of those people that you might turn to. They don't really care. Point stands, when I was first starting to go to the gym, I didn't tell anybody. I mean, I told a few people, but I didn't really tell anybody. And also, I was really skinny, so people were kind of doubting me too. I was on FaceTime with this girl once, and I was leaning over the bed, all sexy, I can't do it because I'm sitting down, but yeah, I was leaning over so sexy, and I was flying my tricep out, and she could see a little bit, and she was like, "You're actually getting muscle," and I was like, "Yeah." I had actually had the muscle for about 2 months at that point. And that was about 4, 5, 6 months of the most shitty tricep extensions you've ever seen. I was doing the most god awful shit for my triceps, but it had worked because shout out Newbie Gains. And yeah, I could have flaunted it earlier and showed it off, be like, hey, look at this picture, but who cares? And honestly, who cares? It was way more satisfying for her to naturally see it anyway. If it's important and if it's something that the results will speak for themselves. Essentially, results will speak for themselves. And first of all, why even tell people? Because people are gonna doubt you. And I know there's people out there who want to be doubted because it's motivating to them. Yes, but you know what else it is? Kind of a waste of your fucking time to think about the doubters. You might start hating them a little bit. You might be like, oh, fuck, you get this aggressive energy. Dude, just fucking work. It doesn't matter if you're more angry in the moment. Be like, oh, I'm going to prove you wrong. You're going to prove them wrong regardless. They already have this low expectation of you, whether you know about it or not. And the great thing about low expectations is oh yeah, it's easier to exceed them. It's easier to beat those things. But you don't need to know about this guy's a doubter, this guy's a doubter, this guy hates you, this guy. Nobody gives a fuck. You don't need to know that stuff, and you intrinsically know that. You know that you shouldn't be anxious about what other people think because who cares? People are gonna think about that as you. They're like, oh, he's gonna go do this, but I haven't seen anything yet. I don't care. I don't care about what you're gonna do. I care about what you're doing. I don't care about who you were, I care about who you are. It's all present moment that people give a fuck about. Excuse me, I had to swallow up a frog through my nostrils before I recorded this. It's my substitute for methamphetamine. There's a quote I really like from Henry Ford. You can't build a reputation on what you plan to do. You cannot build a reputation on what you plan to do, on what you intend to do. I don't know. You probably said intend instead of plan, but you can't be like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that, and then just not fucking do it. Like, okay, you look like a fool. You look like a joker, bruh. You look like the car that everybody takes off whenever they use a card deck. Like, you look like a fucking idiot. People don't care. But they care about results. People are results oriented in this society, in this market, more than anything else. Stop saying, oh, I'm gonna go pursue this market sphere. Just go and fucking do it. And people will see the results. The results will speak for themselves. You've essentially gotten what you've kind of wanted, even by not doing it. It's like attracting success by not chasing success. It's like getting the girl of your dreams not by chasing butterflies, but by building a garden. That's kind of what you want anyway. First of all, you shouldn't really care about what people think about you, what people want to see regardless. I cannot emphasize that more than anything else. You shouldn't really be caring, but people will eventually see that. They will see the results, and then they'll start to think different of you. They'll think better of you. Maybe they'll exceed their expectations, and you'll say, fuck the doubter, you already won. But none of that entail telling somebody, this is what I plan to do. That was all. I'm gonna show you what I've done, and you'll see from what I've done where I'm going, and I'm better than you now. It's more of a flex. So if you need a flex on somebody, think like that. Honestly, fuck flexing. You're not gonna be like a rapper who's bragging about everything. I hope you're not an ambitious young man just so you could flex on people. Like, bragging is the fool's idea of glory. There's no point on talking that. The results will speak for themselves. The most powerful man in the room is usually the quietest. Here's another quote from another president, actually. Henry Ford was never the president, but here's a quote from Theodore Roosevelt. The GOAT. He's my GOAT. Theodore Roosevelt, he said, very famously, speak softly and carry a big stick. The results will speak for themselves. Don't go and yap to everybody. I'll give you another example. It was the same year I started to work out, but I wasn't actually like gaining anything because I didn't know how to bulk or anything. It was my sophomore year of high school. I was with a bunch of people I didn't like, but that was my friend group at the time. And there was one guy who I actually kind of did fuck with, but he popped by every now and then. He was in the football team, so of course it worked out. And I had this crazy callus right here on my hand. You can't see my calluses because they've all popped off recently. Like they kind of like shedded it, and I haven't been in the gym in a while. Unfortunately, I love my calluses, but they're not here right now. I have some on the top right here, but I had this massive fucking piece right here on my middle finger, and then a little one right here on my pinky. And I asked him like, hey, what is this? I was like, oh, people get that from working out. And then he kind of looked at me like, I was like, alright, cool. I didn't tell him, oh yeah, I've been working out. Actually, I might have. But regardless, it doesn't really matter because I had shown him the results. And that spoke more than me being like, hey, I'm working out. And he's like, alright, cool, skinny fuck. Like, let the results speak for themselves. You know that. How are you gonna go to a job interview and be like, hey, this is what I've planned to do for the last 4 years? I'm gonna be like, hey, these are the results. This is how I've changed the world. Come hire me, motherfuckers. I know what I'd rather hire. I'm gonna hire the person who's done shit rather than dreamed about shit. You know, it's the same part of your brain that thinks about doing something that actually does something. I don't even know if that's true or not, but I heard that from somewhere, and honestly, I'm gonna believe it. So instead of thinking about something, I just go and fucking do it. I've always used this in my life. I have so many escapades and disciplines that I just don't tell people because I want them to see the results. I want the results to speak for themselves rather than me yapping about some shit. So I strongly recommend this to everybody else. Like, hey, don't go out and go brag about shit. Just let your actions speak for you. Just let your results speak for you. Let them look at the mountain you've created rather than telling them that, oh, I'm gonna build something here. It's just better. It gives you a better life, gives you way more satisfaction, way more discipline and motivation. It's honestly the life that you want to live. At least it was for me. And you might find this different. These videos aren't usually blanket coverage. It's more like, hey, this worked for me. I think it's gonna work for you guys. Try it out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm ending you guys with a quote that I really, really like. I write it to myself every night. With hard work, dreams do come true. I'll see you at the top. Peace.